Hello everybody, I'm TheYoloDonkey, and I'm just going to see how good this sounds before we keep going. Hello everybody, I'm TheYoloDonkey, and I'm just going to see how good this sounds before we keep going. Okay. Hello everybody, I'm TheYoloDonkey. So, just a warning before we begin, there will be language and sensitive issues and sensitive topics. So if you're triggered at all and watching this as a video, skedaddle. Bye. If you don't want spoilers for the game, skedaddle. Bye. Now, oh yeah, what I was going to do. So, what this thing is basically going to be is I'm going to give my rating. I'm going to talk about the issues I had with it. What I've been doing all day is looking up other people's opinions, the hidden mechanics in the game, and just stuff that I couldn't find my first time around. Because I want to give a unbiased feeling, an unbiased review and rating. That's why I didn't do it last night when my blood pressure was still up, and I just was like, I needed to sleep on it. Yes, thank you. I am currently I would first like to say that my Wattpad is in the description below, so if you want to judge me for any of my stuff, it's out there. I am not judging without being able to be judged back. It's now in the description down below. But I'm going to go ahead and do my little ratings. 1 out of 5 is how I'm doing it. The graphics, 5 out of 5. Phenomenal. Just look at this. The music, 4. I have notes like for days. You can't see that, but all I've been doing today is research and listening to both sides of the argument. But the first one set the bar too high for music. The gameplay, a 5. Now there are 2 different stories in this game. Ellie's story, 3 out of 5. Abby's story, 4 out of 5. The replay value is a 5 out of 5. Not because of the story, because I'll get to that in a minute, but the gameplay wise. Because I didn't know this. This is why I did my research on this before I gave this review. You can go back and play the game, but you can set it to you can do your customized level difficulty. You can customize your AI, your allies, the enemies, how much loot you find and how rare it is, how sneaky you are when you're trying to be sneaky, and what else was it? And how your health, which is awesome because you could just customize your own. You can make the game what you want. You can also, like I said, it's just the part where you know it's going to be enemies you got to fight, and you don't have to like go through menus just to go to it. You can just do it in a playlist, or you can do it however you want it. And I beat all of the fighting today while listening. What I was doing today, listening, playing, and typing. Yes, the replay value is muy bueno. You can also do like you did in the first one, replay it with all the upgrades and money, pills and bits that you already had, and just redo it. But yes, overall I'd give this game a 3. 3.5, maybe 3 3/4. But here's where the sensitive subjects and topics get hit. My warning. The game only protects the gays or the ones that are different, which as a straight male I kind of have a problem with. Because if you go through the second game, If you're a straight male of any color, you get fucked over, or you're made to look like an asshole or a little pussy. Examples: Joel. I mean, he gets beaten to death by a very not normal version of a woman with a golf club, and that symbolizes, because golf is like, I read something today where golf is like one of the only man dominating sports left, so that was symbolism there. And then Tommy gets messed up and then becomes old and cranky. Isaac barely gets any time and then just gets slaughtered. And now the entire world is by. I mean, like, who really gives a fuck about like that? But that's besides the point. And which messes up their own equality goal, because you only see the straight white, not the straight white, but the straight males get fucked up. Yes, the lesbian and the not normal looking girl fight. It can't be the other way around. There was two different stories at the same time, but were the exact same. You have Ellie going after revenge for someone who got killed. They killed Joe, so she goes after her. Yes, and we keep having the same fights, which is okay because the combat's fun. She kills people, then it cuts off. And then Abby, we kill people, we fight a little, and it cuts off. Like, even like, I'm trying to remember this exact moment when like, I'm pretty sure they both even throw up over killing a pregnant lady. Yes, they both do. I remember this. I have this in my notes somewhere. Yes, it was awful. How you did the same story twice. Like, it was like really, the pacing was all thrown off. Like, as soon as you would build a little momentum, like, we almost found Abby. 3 days later, we gotta play day by day, hour by hour, and then the scene's back. It's only like 5 minutes. Then it gets separated again. Oof. Yeah, as a gamer, I felt very disrespected that we had to play as Abby's killer. You could have done that any different way. You had 7 years to plan this out. But the owner of the game is now like friends with someone who's very, very fucking sensitive, which is a bad thing, because you can't have a game or a show like this if you're sensitive, because it is not a sensitive world. It is a kill or be killed world, but apparently the only people that get plot armor and that get to live is anyone who's not straight or dude. Like, name me one dude that gets anything happy. Like, name me a happy moment with a dude. The dream sequence. The dream sequence is all we got. Hey, YOLO. But yes, the dream sequence is the only happy we get in this whole game. Until, like, we get 2 happy scenes. When Joel and Ellie was in the dream sequence, and Dina, Ellie, and JJ, that feels weird to say, because my wife is named JJ, dancing and being happy. But, like, it just was, like, depressing and meek. We just take L after L, and then you make us play as Joel's killer. As Ellie, I want to get all the loot, the trading cards, all the safe combinations. I want to, like, take care of this character. As Abby, I wanted to just get through her part as fast as I can, and her part felt longer than Ellie. I think someone sent me something like the game is a grand total of 20 hours, and like 11 of them is focused on Abby, which is absolutely ridiculous. But changing from negative to positive, the new infected, I hated the god awful throwers. You know, the ones that had a big head, small body. They missed leg day. They could rip that off and throw it at you. Boom! It just felt like a nerfed version of a bloater. But I digress. The ones that I love the ones that like are stuck to the wall. They could just grab at you. I don't understand how that is. Like, why would I mean? They claim that the infected just wander off and never really stop moving. So how would you stay that long to be crusted into the wall? Unless they was killed onto it. I don't know. But I liked it. The King Rat battle. Oh, I've rarely played a game where you get a boss. Like before this, I don't remember a game where I got bosses. It's not really my thing. But this was a boss fight that I really, really liked. At the very end, as Abby. Abby got all the happy, all the cool, and really the perfect ending. Where her and her little companion get to wander off. And Ellie lost her wife, her surrogate son, surrogate mother, surrogate father. Uncle hates her, and she can't even play the guitar because of her loss of fingers. Which fucking sucks. And give me a minute and I'll go on how you could have done this better, but I'm just going over my review. The new enemies, I hated the dogs, but this game was dark, and if you're going to get dark, get dark. Don't have a nightlight. Get dark. Killing them damn dogs, because it was rather kill or be killed. It hurt me to kill them dogs, because I have dogs. And like every time I see it, I'm like, oh man, that could very easily be my dog. But and the scars, I'm gonna get to them as characters later on. But as a fightable enemy, kind of really like them because they were you couldn't do the listen mode because they was so basically Native American Indians. Like they watched your step. They knew how to get around and fuck you up. And yes, I am reading off notes. This is why I keep looking down. The new mechanics I really liked. They overdosed it with the go prone to crawl under shit a lot, but I liked it when you had to use it for combat. Oh yeah, so there's a petition out there that 15,000 people have already signed to remake this game. Which at first glance I was like, yeah, because it sucked. I hate it. Change it all. No. Don't do that. Because that is... You can't really do that. It's out here now. Imagine watching 10 seasons of a show and someone having a bunch of issues with season 2 and you rewrite that and then it doesn't match up because you've already seen that it's in your head now. The writers have dug themselves into a hole. They should have to dig themselves out. I hate when people do that. Yeah, but this game sucked. It shouldn't have been made. So don't remake it. Move forward. Better yourself and get the faith back in your buyers and your customers. Because this was a gash. This hurts. Naughty Dog is dead to me. Their whole company, I'll probably never buy another Naughty Dog again. Just because of how bad this was. And I can understand if the game was bad, but I felt disrespected playing as Abby and how long I did, and how Ellie was basically a side character in her own game, and how bad they did Joel, and how this all felt like a message that if you're a straight male or any type of male, you're either going to get fucked up, you're not strong enough to compete with women, women are better, and you should just die. There was not one positive thing that happened to a guy in this game. Which it would be okay if you didn't shove down our throats that every other character is rather going to be gay, identify as something else, which I don't give a fuck about, but it bothers me. And it's just what the fuck? None of this was an element in the first game. Everybody had equal. The gay guy, what was his name? I will remember his name. Bill. Like, he had it bad. Not because he was gay, not because he was straight, because the world fucking sucks. Everyone got it bad. But everyone also had happy moments in between. There was no in between. It was just, you have a dick, that means you're either going to be evil, you're going to be a cuck, or we're just going to murder you for no reason because we're too scared to harm. See, that's why everything's too sensitive nowadays. I'm not raising my hand and say kill all gays, all trans. Y'all know I don't agree with the LGBT community just because they like to shove that down your throat. But I have gay friends. My barber is gay. I had a friend who I don't know about this, but I have been told that I had issues with Walking Dead 3 when they opened up. You realize you're not playing as Clementine. Yeah, I will actually make that reference after I finish this. I had a friend. I had met him. Dude, I ain't gonna say his name because that's kind of fucked up. Everyone said he was trans and all that. I didn't believe it. I thought it was just a joke. I didn't give a fuck. He didn't shove it down my throat if he was. And he didn't say everybody should be like one way because that's bullshit. So I don't have a problem with gays, lesbians, or even trans. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm not going to be sexually attracted to a dude, or a girl that has transformed into a dude, or a dude that turned into a girl. That's my preference. You can prefer to have all that. Good for you. He just got done streaming that, but that's besides the point. If you're allowed to have your preference that is viewed differently, I'm allowed to be different from you. But don't just shove that down my throat. I feel like Ellie's character is watered down and bleak. Like, in the first part, she was all sunshine and happy. Even when she was almost killed or raped. The giraffe, she had fun with it. She loved it. She had depth. And it wasn't from every single line, but every other line. Because no character is going to be 100% perfect. But like, she just felt watered down. And like her friends enabled the unholy shit out of her. Like, yeah, they knew Joel, but okay, me to you. If I go to you talking about, oh, they killed my dad, beat him to death. You want to travel 3 states with me, risk your life, and intervene in a gang war and help me kill 2 people? I wouldn't expect my brother to do that, let alone someone who stole my woman. But besides the 420 scene, she had nothing like for me to like get behind and cheer for. Like, she just got kicked down and down and like it was like. But her character though, she did have I can't think of the word right now, but she felt remorse and she felt sad for the ones that she did have to kill that had names, not the little NPCs. So that's besides the point. But she felt bad. Abby didn't give a fuck. She killed every damn body. She got to be in a gang war. And like, the the developers gave us all of the bad in Ellie. All the bad shit, all the bad dialogue, all the bad, like, fights. And you give us Abby with, she gets an assault rifle. She's in the middle of a gang war. Everyone loves some Call of Duty. It's like, okay. Like I said earlier, the pace is fucked. And now I'm just going to simply transition into my character rating out of 5. 1, they're just shit or bland. And these are for new characters. 2, they was okay and fair, or they did their job. 3 is average, pretty good. 4, above average, and 5, perfect. And these are just new characters. Manny, I gave him a 4 because out of all the bad guys in the camp, he stuck out. He had personality. He was that machismo, that Latino heat, if you know who I'm referring to. He was just like, he was always fun. Like, I couldn't, there was nothing bad about him besides the fact he fucked up and killed Joel. But like, he was good, but like, he wasn't perfect. He was a little shady. Dina, 3.5 out of 5. I didn't like. She was okay. Like, she kind of did Ellie wrong. She gets pregnant by this dude, and hey, you have to deal with this now just because you like me, because I made you like me, because I kissed you and I basically made this thing happen. Mel, she gets a 2 out of 5. Where did I write this? I wrote this down somewhere. Oh yeah, Mel just feels like that she felt like the type of person that like on the outside wants to do good, wants to say the right thing, help people, but on the inside she's like really selfish. She can't even look over the fact that Owen and Abby, she's like doing other jobs just to help, and she just gets really jealous, which is understandable because of their ex relationship. But she just came off as like really stingy and a fucking Karen. Next, Lev, 2 out of 5. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about this later on, but so I finally got concrete that Lev is really Libby, but I got 2 different like really replies from this. They wanted to do transgender from girl to guy, but really it's just a girl that a boy in a girl's body. I don't believe in all that bullshit, but what the fuck ever, I'm gonna go with it. And it's because of the Scar's traditions, which don't really make sense. Because she shaved her head to be like a dude, because she wanted to be a dude, because her older sister was a warrior. That makes no sense to me, because that, like, if she wanted to be a soldier, just let her be a soldier. But no, you can't because you're a girl. Huh? Your sister is a soldier. That's just like, what the fuck. I gave her a 2, and it's not because she's trans. You SJW, like, really about to spam me up. Just because the character was bland. Like, it was just it was like a Duck or a Ben or a Sarah, just like that annoying little shit. Like, you keep running off, we keep having to save you, whatever. Rura, which was the older sister, I gave her a 3. I'm here, sorry I'm late. Yeah, we're just going over review and rating. I gave Rura, which I think that's her name. I can't really pronounce it, and I'm not going back to replay any cutscenes. Which was the older sister of Lev or Libby. I gave her a 3. Just because she played the older sister card. She gave us one of the most gruesome scenes with the hammer beating, and she was always positive. She always was the optimist. She was the moral compass, and then she died. But she also went out and said, "Yo, you gonna shoot me, motherfucker?" And then get shot up, saving her brother and sister and savior, Abby. So yeah, I gave her points for that. I keep looking out for chat. Why is this better than the game, Elliot? Because I genuinely think at this point I'm a better storyteller. If you want to roast my stuff or make comments, the description below, I have my own book I wrote. There it is. I spent not 7 years on it, maybe 6 months. But next character, Jesse. I gave him a 3 on here, but he's getting a 2 just because he played he did his job. Like, he was there. He was strict when he needed to be strict when he was working, but he also could have fun. He helped Ellie, which is always good in my book, but they wasted his character really by just killing him off. They didn't build up the tension. He was just walking down a hallway. Like, okay, whatever. Isaac gets a 1. He was the only guy leader, which ties in what I was talking about earlier, how the game really just pushed their agenda with LGBT, gays, and all that, and women power. Sum up the game with one quick soundbite. Oh my god, who the hell cares? That is pretty much it, but I put in the time, effort, and so I am showing a little care. That was funny as fuck, though, Zamu. Then I'm a Owen. I gave him a 2.5. I'm gonna give him a no. I gave him a 2.5. Yeah, that's fair. 2.5. He was a manho, and he always made the situation benefit himself. He was doing it whether you cared or not. He was probably my him and Manny was like my favorite out of the enemy group, but they're all shit-tards because they killed Joel. And then the WLF Washington Liberation Front, aka Wolves, they get a 2 because we didn't have anything to know about them, but I kind of liked them. They lived in a football stadium. The Scars, they get a 1. We got nothing about them. All we knew was that they lived on an island, made up a religion, followed it. Like, it felt like Far Cry 5, Joseph Seed, but watered down so damn much. Like, I could not, like I felt like I was playing a Far Cry, but in third person when I was fighting them, because I didn't have anything. You couldn't, you could have. I just needed more from them, and now they're all dead. Then Jackson, the first stop, I gave them a 3 just because that's the old school hometown. It felt like a Western civilization, not like a Western front, like an old 1800s Western. Everyone helped each other out. It was all peaceful. If there was a problem, y'all would resolve it. Y'all wouldn't just murder each other. Then one more. I'm gonna give a big question before I move on to my next segment. Some of the games. I keep looking down for chat. Quick. Yeah, they kill off characters who could have been great. Yes, they. What character came out looking better? Dana? No. All y'all did was give her a baby, and you just made her emotional wait for Ellie on her choice whether to leave or not. Bullshit. Jesse, you could have done so much with him. If y'all were to do a third one, you can have like the love triangle trying to figure out custody of a baby that's half his, and like gave him more. You could have done so much with Jesse. I feel like he was like one of the most wasted characters potentially. I don't know. And one big question: is there or is there not fireflies? Because I did some more research on this. I did like 8 hours of research with YouTube, reading and shit. That's all I've done today, just to be professional about this. So I can be biased. I got everyone's side of the story. So the way that Abby and Liv get kidnapped is, I thought it was just like, oh, when the dog, the bounty hunter looking old bastard, I just thought they ran into them and so they attacked them. Yeah, maybe the point. Wait, but was that maybe the point? Yeah, I mean, it could be that all the sensitive SJWs and LGBT is taking over. That could be it, but the president of this game is like this with one of the main sensitivity SJW motherfuckers. But no, that's not back to my point about how Abby and Liv got captured. I thought that the dog, the bounty hunter, old version, just spotted him. No, they was listening onto the radio and lied to them and set them up. Are there really fireflies? Because we saw the base. I think there is, but I don't know. And this next segment, how I would personally tell the story. Wait. Then okay. How I would tell it. This I'm going to lay down some rules for myself, and if you want to participate, comment section, I will gladly read them. I keep looking too early. I'm just going to prop this up against my computer. Don't they call each other Fireflies? No, that was in the first game where they had Fireflies. I just realized I can't put that there. There was a group called the Fireflies. That's who was making the cure. Abby was former Firefly and transferred to the Washington Liberation Front, which is basically to fly all the ex-Fireflies into a new camp. But how I would book this game, how I would tell it. Now, this is doing everything that they had. I'm taking their parts and how I would make it work better. So, since you can't help with the 7-year wait, I would, 2 years before The Last of Us 2, drop a DLC, and that is Abby. It's her story leading up to when they find Joel. So it's her with Owen, Manny, but it shows more of Manny's fake side because you know he's fake. He's that manho type shit. Mel is just a character that's on the outside happy and will do anything to make others happy, but keeps quiet because she's really self-centered. But keep Owen the same. Just have Abby's story a DLC before. That way, us as fans can see, oh, this is actually because her story. Now that I've calmed down and took a step back and looked at it like I was a new person to the franchise, was actually a decent story. She had decent interactions. But yeah, you kind of like dropped the ball with that. Just tell her story that way. As us fans, we can grow in our heart for her. We can have room for her. Like, how is she and Ellie going to interact? Are they going to be friendly or are they going to be foe? And then have like all the bullshit on, and then once maybe 3/4 of the way in, have a different story. And then have Abby kill Joel. Because I was like, oh shit, why did she do that? Who do I, because that way, if you introduce somebody, it's like, oh, I have this is my best friend for a long time. This is my new friend, and he's really cool, and I enjoy hanging out with him. And then they collide, you're like, oh my god, who do I pick? Who do I root for? It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then at the end, actually have Ellie kill her. And what I'm currently working on now is a different video at the bottom where I recreate The Last of Us and how I would have told their story. Which I am going to currently read now. This is not full-fledged. This is not my idea set in concrete. This is just how I would do it. But this is not going to be my final thoughts or opinions. There will be a video whether coming tomorrow or the next day that will have everything. Alright, cool. So it would start off with Dina and Ellie at an outpost, introducing us to Dina, having her tell Ellie to forgive Joel, which we will figure out what she's forgiven him for later on. They start hearing screaming, and they immediately, as soon as they get intimate into the conversation, they hear that screaming, they fuck off. And then, boom, transition to Joel and Tommy. I lost my spot. Transition to Joel and Tommy playing pool at their outpost. They're just chilling, having bro time, brother talk, and then Tommy recognizes that there's something wrong with Joel. And then he asks and digs to where Joel gives up the fact he lied about the cure and he saved Ellie's life but sacrificed the cure and the fireflies. And then they get quiet. Tommy convinces Joel, you gotta tell Ellie. Because if someone else does, it'll destroy your relationship. He nods. It gets real quiet. Tommy walks up to the pool table, looks at Joel, sinks that 8-ball. He says, I win. He wins the game, looks at Joel, he says, haha, you'll be making dinner tonight, big brother. Joel just like he's sad because he knows he has to fix what he's done wrong, but he's like transition. Back to Ellie and Dina, they run up and see a person fighting off the infected. This is them investigating the screams. They save his life. His name is Charles, but oops, he's bitten on the arm. So they bring him back to their outpost and talk to him. He's a really cool guy. He says that the reason he's out there was for hunting. And now Dina starts to sympathize for him. He says, "Hey, I'm Dina. This is Ellie." And they trade names. They feed him, water him. And after dinner, he's like getting really bad and sick. He says, "I'm going to go die beside my brother." Don't swap that. "I'm going to go die beside my sister. Don't worry, I'll end myself so I don't turn." So he goes, and they get quiet. And it's nighttime. And to lighten the mood, Dina pulls out a small bag of weed and papers. Because I'm still trying to use their elements to make the story work. So that's Eugene's weed. So he just pulls it out. They both laugh, smile, get that stoner giggle. Transition. The screen says 2 weeks ago. It's Dina yelling at Jesse. They break up, and Ellie pulls a Eugene from The Walking Dead and eavesdrops by accident, but she's just like too scared not to move because them three are roommates because they're getting to know each other before they start out patrols. And then Dina sees Ellie listening, but she doesn't care because she's in that fucking mood. She asks Ellie to go to the town party, and then they go. And the same thing happens. Dina's dancing to everyone, then Ellie and them starts kissing. Seth calls her a loudmouth dyke, but instead of Joel pushing her, he hits him. That way everyone's just staring at him, and Ellie says, "I had this. Joel, go home now." Gives her that mean look. He fucks off. They cut back to Dina and Ellie talking about their first kiss, and then the sex scene just like that. Cut to black, open up to the next morning. Tommy and Joel are about to go on patrol. Then Tommy says, "Race you to the top." And Joel says, "Yeah, if I win, you give me your stash of coffee beans," because it shows later that he traded some really emotional stuff for coffee. I'm sticking to his character. So, if I win, you give me the coffee beans, boy. And then Tommy said, "Yeah, and if I win, you perform at the next town party," because he knows his big brother has talent, but also stage fright. So he's like, "I need that coffee." They nod. Joel wins the race, and he's just looking in the distance. And Joel sees something weird. So he tells Tommy, "Let me see your rifle." Tommy hands him the scope, and he sees a small horde coming. Yeah, I know. I'm a good writer. I know I am. So they see a small horde coming. So, okay, so from here I am. Okay, why? My brightness is all the way low. Okay, basically from here on out, I'll give a small little freestyle because I'm out of notes of the shit I have written. So the small horde coming, they get on their horses, gallop away. And this is the morning of the next day. So Dina wakes Ellie up by her throwing up. Turns out she's been pregnant for 2 months now. So I wouldn't have been with the baby, but yeah. So they explain that. Dina gets scared about what's going to happen because this is a crazy world. Yada, yada, yada. Ellie says, "You know what?" Hits on the shoulder. "Let's play some hide and seek. Let's be kids one more time before shit really hits the fan." So you give the player an opportunity to play some hide and seek, but when Dina's seeking, you're in the closet. While she's looking, kick down the door. Boom! It's Abby, Manny, Mel. Charles was Mel's brother. That's why he just ran off. He wasn't going to go die with his sister. He was going to go tell his sister that they found Ellie. So they all start jumping her. Ellie's scared because she knows if she comes out that she's more than likely going to die. So they're just like asking, "Where's Ellie? We know she's here. Don't lie to us. Don't you fucking bitch." Yada yada yada. Then, oh, they start roughing her up. Then Ellie comes in, slices. They slice Jordan, but I don't have anything for Jordan because he's a bitch. So he slices Jordan. They go to start jumping on Ellie. And then, as soon as that happens, guess who's here to warn you about the small horde? Tommy and Joel. Boom. They see what's happening. They both start fighting. And Tommy takes a shot. Not a shotgun, but just takes a bullet to the knee. Jordan gets... So that both sides run off injured because Joel talks about the horde. Wait, no, fuck that. Yeah, and as they leave, Dina's dead. I don't know. I gotta re-go back, but yes, Dina dies. Pregnant lady that's Ellie's girlfriend dies, so she starts breaking down. She wants to go chase them. Oh, Joel don't let them. There's a horde coming. We gotta get back to Jackson. Listen to me. She slaps him. No, she's my everything. She's my mommy, daddy, whatever the fuck lesbians call their significant other sexually. So Ellie she just snaps her out of it. Gets her on a horse. Gets Tommy, puts him on a horse. As they ride away, Ellie's just full of tears. She turns around and sees Dina getting eaten. Then it cuts back. We're still riding into Jackson. They get back in, but Joel stands on the outside with a small group, and you can get some zombie shooting range, which would have been awesome. You give us these big communities. You don't give us the horde coming. You don't give us the pow, pow, pow. Toss me ammo. Thank you, blah, blah. And then now you can have Joel and Ellie on a classic mission going to go track her down. And the first game was Joel being just old man, didn't care about anything, wasn't close to anybody, and then got close to Ellie and made him happy again. Now that Ellie's upset, it's Joel's turn. They swapped roles, which would have been fucking awesome. They make their journey. Ellie's getting more kill crazy, but then she realizes that she killed Mel, like how it would have happened. Gets sick. And then they end up finding Abby, and you're like, oh no, that's the bitch I played in the sequel in the DLC 2 years ago. But she did kill Dina. But if you have her kill Dina over Joel, then that's okay, because all Dina was a new character that was about to make Ellie a mother. You know what I mean? And was her wife, basically. Was her everything. So they have a big fight, and instead of you can even reuse that scene with Ellie and Jesse walking. Jesse gets shot, but have him walking by. Joel gets shot, but have it like the Carl shot, where it's like shot, but it hits the eye and doesn't hit anything else. But it just looks like a really fucked up headshot, and you give the player like, just killed Joel, you son of a bitch. And we just fight her, and we actually kill her. No bullshit about second chances. She's dead. We already had her story, so we don't feel it. We feel like, oh wow, yeah, now they've both lost something. Then you could cut to Ellie playing guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Like, we're sad. Like, this is the end of the game. We played 20 hours. Like I said, I'll go more in depth with the video version over the stream because I haven't finished typing it yet. But if you like my story style and my story elements, click in the description down below, and that's all I do on that website is stories. I write my own. My personal favorite is Lynn versus the World. That's the one I've spent the most time and the most effort into. But yeah, so false. I mean, it's the end of a 20-hour journey about getting vengeance on significant other and a fucked up Tommy. Wait, I'm gonna pause that right now. So Tommy knows that the Fireflies were going to become into the wolves eventually because he knew that those were the two things. And then once he got in with the like after they saved her, how did he not recognize? Oh, that's Wolf. That's ex-Fireflies. Ex-Fireflies know about me and Joel. Why not just say our names like Mario and Luigi or some shit? Whatever. You made Tommy look dumb. But that's besides the point. So she's just sitting there playing the guitar. Us as the player, like, oh, Joel got shot in the face. Her wife is dead. And then Joel just walks in the door, but we don't hear it. All we hear is just her playing guitar, like just her playing her soul out, brother. And then he says, "You're getting better, kiddo." Then it cuts to Joel with an eye patch. Holy shit, that's awesome. Joel with an eye patch. He looks cool, and he's alive. Yes. And then show Ellie at Dina's grave. Have Jesse walk up. And then it's Jesse and Ellie. The two sides of the love triangle. And they was good buddies. He tries to kiss her. No. Because, like, Jesse was a little horny. But Ellie is gay all the way. Like, she's already confirmed that guys do nothing for her, so you can't have her do that. And I know, like, the SJWs were going, but you're having it straight ending. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're having it a straight ending. No, have her reject him, and then just, like, you can do something else. Anything better. Anything would have been better than what you have given us, Naughty Dog. I will say, oh yeah, did I do the rattles? I didn't. The rattles were actually interesting. I mean, they were slave owners, but they looked cool. They had high-grade weapons. I wanted to know a little bit more about them, but I know you couldn't because you was already about to end the game, so you just had to have a situation. But the way that they did it, you could have just rearranged it and made it better. But Abby should have died. That's one thing. Joel should have lived. That's another thing. We wanted the Joel and Ellie story. We didn't want the Ellie and Abby story. Because who the fuck is Abby at the end of the day? But yeah. And if there's any questions or final thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. Because I'm just going to scroll through my notes, see if I missed anything. I'm going to end this, and then I'm rather going to stream something else and play with you guys, or start working on my final way of how I would have done it. Talked about that. I still want to know if the Fireflies are a real thing or not. Would I buy third? The Last of Us 3. Yeah, like that. So should I start doing more reviews of games after I play them? Yeah, I mean, I've gone through pretty much everything that I can think of, and it's hot as fuck in here. I have another shirt under there. Don't hide your eyes. So at the end of the game, end of the day, if you're a straight male, you're fucked. Abby gets to live and Joel's dead. Ellie has nothing left. And yeah. Like, I replayed all of the violent parts, like all the action parts, and it was like an hour. Like, and that's the only way I can safely have this game anymore. Is to go back, go through the difficulties. So the replay value is good for the fighting and combat. The story kind of shit all over itself. The pace was fucked. The graphics and music were also muy bueno. Grade A. So yeah, out of 5, what would I rate the game? I already went through like the individual. I'd give it a 3.5. The first one was a straight 6. There was nothing really wrong with it. The first game did everything so much better. Like, they had the simple story of old man and the old man who's old fashioned and the new kid is like actually playing air guitar and all that shit in the comics. Yeah, they had a good dynamic, a simple story but a good one. They made friends, lost it, and had a good ass cliffhanger where he lied to her. And I'm gonna go back. Who said season 3? Zamu said he had a really good comparison. When we played as Abby, it kind of felt like playing the season 3 of The Walking Dead, which I mean the season was alright, but like we didn't want the Javier story. We wanted the Clementine story. We kind of had half of that. It was like it was good if it was a separate game, but make it a separate game. Don't tell us that this is the third one in the series when really it wasn't. My favorite time was when Abby and Owen were together in the ocean at the Ferris wheel, and we made a funny joke. What joke did we make in the Ferris wheel? We made so many jokes in that game. We roasted that sex scene for almost over 30 minutes. Matter of fact, one of my favorite, I screenshot 2 things on every stream, regardless. When the chat says four people, 20 comments, just because 420, I hang out with a friend who likes, and like he laughs every time I show it. It's just like, I don't smoke. He does. That's besides the point. It's a good laugh, and every time we hit 100 comments. A New Frontier is my second favorite. Ranking the, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little something else real quick. Ranking the seasons of Walking Dead 1 through 4. The third one was probably my least favorite, just because it's a good game, good story, but it's like that should have been like a separate title or a DLC. But it was good. But it wasn't Walking Dead. It was the Walking Muertos. Then I would go to season 4, 1, then 2. Season 2 was like my favorite. The characters were like, I don't know, like season 2 was always more memorable to me. But season 1 like is my favorite. But like if I had to do a bias ranking, A New Frontier is my second favorite. I thought about doing that and shit. Wait, I thought you streamed. You streamed all the Walking Deads. That's how I found you. I was just scrolling through. I clicked The Walking Dead and like started scrolling. I saw that like what I'll do, and this is just me in my free time. I'll click on a game that I like and know a lot about, so I can keep up with comments, and I'll go to someone who has like 2 or 3 people watching them, and I'll go in. And I'll like make their day, like say give good comments, talk about the game. Like I try to help, like because I was at 2 subs at one point. Yeah, we're losing it. So yeah, that's how I found you. Like I found you playing season 2, I believe. No, it was season 1 when they was walking in the street, and Chuck was like, "From whom the bell tolls." Lee was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Lee was a G. The joke is right there. Did you send me a link? Oh. Oh. Is this what I think it is? I clicked on the link you put in there, Luke. It's not loading. Well, it's trying to load an iCloud, but I have Samsung. That might be a problem. Refresh. But yeah, they did add a boat mechanic to the game. What the? Hold up, I'm gonna tell y'all this just because you're my YOLO bros and YOLO sisters, and like y'all, I love y'all. Oh, it's the video. This is what LD sent me. Shit, what they think. He turns over the corner, he hears. I got something pretty cool to show you. It's my dick. That is your ringtone, by the way, for every time you call me. But yeah, season 1 was like the OG, but they added so much good stuff to this game, and what I'm gonna do, I'm probably gonna do this tomorrow while I'm writing the script. I'm gonna play like the encounters is what it's called, and it's just all the fighting stuff, and you go around fighting, and that's all you do. You either get from point A to B, and then it'll do to the next one, or ask you if you want to replay it, or you can kill everyone and ask you if you want to go to the next one. That'll probably be what you see, but what you hear is just me. But yeah, so I'm probably about to shut this down and open up a game. Okay, I might just stream some GTA with Luke. I don't know. But for now, this has been my review for The Last of Us. Hit that bell so you can find my how I would have done The Last of Us 2. And in the description down below is a link to my Wattpad. Follow me because I have stories. Critique me, give me your thoughts, and tell me if I'm as good as I think I am or if I'm shit as I am. And stay up if you want to watch some stream. Alright. I have been the YOLODonkey. You have been my YOLO bros and YOLO sisters. I shall see you guys next time you click on one of my new and old videos. Y'all have been awesome. This has been lit. Thank y'all for giving me my platform where I can discuss my opinions and have them heard and have fun with you guys. It means a lot to me, and I hope y'all had fun. Peace. Too sweet. You guys are the best.